Are you feeling that you failed as a mom? Maybe guilty for not spending enough time with your child or feeling horrible after you yelled at them sometimes. Maybe you were planning to breastfeed but had no milk and then felt guilty for not providing your baby with mother's milk. And then maybe you were worried that you could ruin their immune system. I'm Dr. Alena Prihitika, and for the last 25 years, I've been working as a therapist and a researcher studying emotion regulation and parenting. I'm a mom too. I know the struggles, and today I want to talk to you about ways we can help ourselves to cope with mother's guilt. Stay with me if you want to get tools for self help, and if you find it useful, subscribe and share with other moms and dads. So, before we go to coping with guilt, we need to understand what guilt is because what I observe is that oftentimes moms confuse guilt with shame. So, how do we distinguish these emotions? Guilt is one of the socio-moral emotions, the ones that develop from our awareness of right and wrong and from how our actions affect others. For example, you know and believe that you must breastfeed your child as long as you can for his immune system to be strong. Then, for some reason, you can't breastfeed and you start giving formula. But when you're giving formula, you feel guilty because this is something you think you're not supposed to do, and you feel you are harming your child's immune system. And when you do it in public, you feel ashamed because other people can see that you're giving your child something that you're not supposed to, and you want to hide away. Along with guilt and shame often comes embarrassment. It's when you're hiding your formula in public, but accidentally someone sees it and you start saying, "Oh, I didn't really want to do it, but I had to, but I'm so sorry, it's happening." So basically, the function of embarrassment is to show other people that you know social norms and you follow them. And if you don't, all of a sudden, it's an accident. So, guilt is when you did something bad. Shame is when you feel you are bad. And embarrassment is when others saw you fail. So guilt is focused on actions and specific behaviors. It says, I should have known better than yelling. I should have controlled myself. Now I traumatize my child and I need to repair the harm. In contrast, shame attacks the self. It's when you can't even tell anyone that you yelled because it's horrible and you're ashamed, so you want to hide it. And embarrassment is about social image. That's why parents won't yell in public, but only yell at home. So we feel guilty when we feel that we failed, and if we dig deeper, we will find out that we feel that we failed because we didn't meet the expectations of ideal motherhood. Expectations we got from somewhere, God knows where, but we believe that is how we should be. All moms feel guilty because the game is rigged. You know, stay-at-home moms feel guilty for not contributing financially, working moms for not spending enough time with their kids. So mom's guilt comes from beliefs, shoulds. We inherited from other mothers, books, movies, you name it. When we believe that we should spend a lot of time with children and we violate this belief, we feel guilty. If we think that not spending enough time with kids hurts them. So the main thing with guilt is the idea that your actions are harmful. But what's so bad about guilt and why should we even try to let it go? You might not realize it, but guilt can actually hurt both you and your child. Mom's guilt can affect your life and the life of your kids in positive and negative ways. So when mom did hurt her child with her actions, she feels reasonable guilt and apologizes, which repairs your relationship with your child. One of the biggest complaints I hear from clients is that their parents didn't apologize because apology is important. Through it, you acknowledge your child's pain, you validate your child's pain, and you model correct behavior. However, when you're feeling guilty and you're not hurting your child, you exhaust yourself because guilt takes toll on you. You become exhausted. And then because you're anxious that you're negatively affecting your baby, and then you go on a self-induced guilt trip when you're not present with your child, when you project your feelings on them, so you're not with your child, but with your idea of a child. And eventually you just can't enjoy your time with your child because you're preoccupied with things that you think you did wrong and what your inner critic is saying, right? Is your inner critic is telling you you're a bad mom. So what can we do to support ourselves? And so that we reduce this negative effects of guilt on us. So best thing to do is self-compassion. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and understanding you show to a close friend. Well, of course, that's easier said than done. So let's take a look at how it actually works in real life. So it's built on 3 core components: self-kindness, being gentle with yourself, especially when you fail; common humanity, recognizes that everyone struggles, you're not alone; and mindfulness, being present. In therapy, we help clients recognize critical inner voices, and there are things that you can do on your own, and there are techniques from self-compassion therapy you can use. So compassionate letter writing. You write a letter to yourself as if you were a supportive friend. Imagine your friend is thinking about themselves, all the bad things you think about yourself and things that they failed as a mom. Write what you would have told them to support them, normalize their struggles, and make them feel validated and relieved. So why do we write such letters? Because, well, first, it reduces self-criticism. Writing with kindness to yourself counters the harsh inner critic. When you reframe your thoughts in supportive, compassionate tone, you actually interrupt negative self-talk patterns. Second, it enhances emotion regulation. When you put feelings into words, affect labeling can help you calm down and process feelings more clearly. It soothes the nervous system. It provides psychological comfort. Third, it increases self-compassion, trains your mind to treat yourself the way you would treat a close friend. And over time, it cultivates mindfulness, awareness of your struggles without identifying with them, recognizing that you're not alone in your suffering. It can help you also to improve resilience. Being with yourself in difficult times creates safe inner emotional space where you can fall back when external support is lacking, helping you bounce back from setbacks more effectively. And studies have shown that practicing self-compassion through writing can reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, shame, stress. It tends to increase positive emotions such as gratitude, hope, and self-acceptance. Another thing you can do is love and kindness meditation. Say, may I be kind to myself. May I find peace. Take 5 minutes every morning and repeat these words 5 times. Why these words? Well, loving kindness meditation enhances joy, contentment. Research shows that even short daily practices increase overall emotional well-being and life satisfaction. You can also use positive affirmations, put them on your fridge or near your table, or somewhere where you typically feel guilt, and read every time you failed as a mom. I'm good enough, mom. I'm not comparing myself with other people. I am reaching out for help when I need it. So it's important to change your mindset. You do not need to be a perfect mom. You just need to be a compassionate one to your children, yes, but also to yourself. You need to embrace your imperfections. You are enough. You have always been enough.